Love and peace and happiness.
Beautiful day, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Love, Peace, and Happiness Tarot. Coming to you live once again from Las Vegas. I go by Melinda NailFanatic, and I'm back to deliver this latest timeless collective channeled message from the Gemini series. So if you're here, it's by divine design. If it resonates, pick it up and run with it. If it doesn't, leave it where you found it. Either way, make your choices and decisions responsibly today, because you always have the consequences and repercussions to pay. You have questions, I have answers. You can find those facts on the website and below the video in the description box. And after these messages, we'll be right back. Yeah. The following message has been co-signed by the divine and sponsored by Spirits. Soplalo. We do what we do because we absolutely love and adore our brothers and sisters of humanity. So thankful and grateful for the growth on our channel. If you have Gemini as your zodiac sign, this is definitely your reading. Also, anywhere where you have Gemini and other birth chart positions, there's something here for you. Anywhere where you're cross watching about a Gemini person that you have interest in, you're going to find something here. Remember, whoever you are, wherever you are, the information can be about you, about another in your experience, and anywhere on the time space dimension, because the readings are timeless. We decided what decks we wanted to use before we went live. And so, our first deck out that we're working with today is the Wild Unknown Archetypes from Kim Kranz. And we have our first cards haven't fallen out on the table. Let's look at the bottom of the deck first. Give us some foundation. We have the Kairos card here. And it talks about synchronicity. Look at the blue eye. Okay. Kairos is going to talk about I'm hearing your perception beyond just the physical appearance. There's something in your perception beyond just the physical appearance. You can perceive to, I'm hearing, to a deeper level. Yes.
Love and peace and happiness.
So you have the ability to pull information together, have a deeper level of awareness, and link this to that and the others. Like you can see the invisible energetic cords between different things. Okay. In your experience, I'm saying in your experience, there's been a lot of synchronicity, this match, that, and it stood out so boldly that you had to stop and take notice. Okay. You had to stop and take notice. All right. Let's see what else we have coming out in your energy. We have a dead end here coming out. It's card number 40. There was a stopping point. Something said, stop. No, don't go. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Do not go any further. Okay. This is a death, a literal death, a symbolic death, or figurative death, a spiritual death. I heard an ego death. Ooh, that's a tough one though, because the ego was part of what your soul needed to grow. This is why you were born with one, and why you developed it the way you did, and it's there to service you. But I heard even the ego said, "Do not go, stop." Okay, and then I heard, "Stop in the name of love before you break my heart. Think it over." Okay, so stop and think it over. Let's see, we have the Lover. The Lover is coming out and showing itself in reverse. Okay, and it has a picture of a swan. Swans are very loyal mates. They are not the type that are fly by night lovers. The lover energy, this is somebody who, well, and look at this golden pearl. There's a golden pearl and it's wrapped up in its neck. So there's this energy here of you. Okay, there's this energy here of the wisdom gained from a past lover. There's energy here in wisdom gained in loyal connections. And it's interesting because this is a lover. So there's a lover that presents himself. Stop with the lover, okay? Stop at this lover. I heard, think it over. So there's a significant lover presenting in the experience. Some of you are the significant lover presenting in the experience. And then we have the flame, and it's coming out in reverse. And I heard, light the flame, light the flame. Okay. Because there's something here about the energy is giving me like this lover is presenting in your life to help you or assist you in lighting a flame, lighting a flame. I'm here. And then the next card out is a prayer. I heard this is what you prayed for, reaching for something more. Okay, so anywhere where you asked for, oh wow, they just took me back. They just took me way back to a time when I was about 20 years old. Yeah, I think I was 20 years old. And I had been very alone for a long time. And I prayed. I prayed for God to send me a partner that could be exactly what I needed, who could actually love me and my daughter. And that was when I found myself presented with somebody who I ended up marrying. I stayed married. Some of you don't know this. I was married for about 10 years at one point. And it was a very significant relationship. I did learn a lot in that relationship. And it was exactly what I needed at the time. As a matter of fact, it was the most that I would allow myself to receive at that time. And so there's some energy that they want me to discuss with you about how much are you willing to receive, because the lover that will present will be the maximum of what you will allow yourself to receive.
Love and peace and happiness.
I hear, and as you have expanded that, past relationships would come to a dead end. It would come to a stop because your capacity had grown beyond what that relationship could feed, is the way I'm hearing, beyond what that relationship could feed. I hear, but it's like, how do we put that? It's like that relationship reaching its completion is like a video gamer who crosses a certain checkpoint in a video game, and if they were to begin again, they will never revert behind that checkpoint again. So it's like you created a new starting point, you created a new baseline, you created a new jump off point. I don't, those are the best ways I can find to describe it. For as a result of previous experience that you had that had completed its cycle, completed its purpose, completed its lessons in you, you received the lessons that put you at a new checkpoint, that put you at a new place. Okay, as you learned from it, you saw the synchronicities of it. Now this lover is presenting to help you to embrace what you've already learned and utilize it as a tool moving forward. Light the flame here, because this is the answer to the prayer. So if you prayed for your lover, oh, I heard there's something so beautiful about a person who prays for their lover. Yeah, is that what this is all about? You've been praying for your lover? Okay, wherever they're at in the world, on all time, space, and dimension. Okay, so some of you have been praying for a lover that has passed. Some of you have been praying for a lover you've never met. Okay, so I'm hearing Shalimar talking about this is for the lover in you. And then they're saying, yeah, some of you were praying for the lover in you. Somebody here was praying for the increased capacity to receive love. I hear that as well. Okay. Anywhere where you have a lover that has left in spirit, this lover is still loving you. Their love will be eternal. They're giving me the bangles, the eternal flame. Okay. Interesting. They want me to stop shuffling, and they want me to look up those lyrics to the Bangles Eternal Flame. So get us one moment to do that. Close your eyes. Give me your hand, darling. Do you feel my heart beating? Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Okay. Am I only dreaming? Is this burning an eternal flame? Okay, I believe it's meant to be, darling. I watch you when you are sleeping. You belong to me. Do you feel the same? Am I only dreaming? Or is this burning an eternal flame? Say my name. Sun shines through the rain. A whole life so lonely, and then come and ease the pain. I don't want to lose this feeling. Oh, Say my name. Sun shines through the rain. A whole life so lonely, and then come and ease the pain. I don't want to lose this feeling. Oh, close your hands. Give me your hand. Do you feel my heart beating? Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Okay, so that it just repeats from there. So um this lover, anywhere where the lover is in spirit, interesting enough, I'm seeing, because with all these cards reversed, they are giving me spirit realm energy. Just want you to know that. But they're also saying there's something here in lessons that are learned or are to be learned. Some of you have already learned these lessons. You're going to know that you did. Some of you are in the phase of learning these lessons. You're going to see that that's clearly what's going on in your situation. Okay. And some of you are going to have that epiphany, like, OMG, that's why this keeps happening in my relationship. Okay. So now also, again, they want me to remind you that some of you are in a relationship. Some of you were in a relationship, and some of you are yet to attract or experience fully the relationship on the physical realm. Okay, they want me to move that card up there. Bottom of this deck, we have the dilettantes. Okay, and it's in reverse. So the shadow energy in this is pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So somebody faked that they understood more than they did. Okay, or somebody's faking, pretending to know more than they actually do. Somebody just really believes that they have all this wisdom, but they don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they don't know. There's much more to discover, much more to learn. In a higher vibration, in the light attributes, it says delights in the arts without having to be a professional. Alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. I'm picking, yeah, what they're showing me is there's a busybody, somebody who's just got their hands in everything, but they don't finish anything. This person that's coming through, this energy that I'm seeing, is somebody who dabbles in everything. What they say, the jack of all trades and the master of none. Yeah, that's the energy that this person is giving me. So this person may not be, whoever's energy this is, they might not be the best at anything, but they like to get their hands in everything. And I just see 10 projects going at once. 10 completion, as much as they can do all at once. Scattered energy, spread all over everything, not focused onto anything. Okay, so somebody here, that's the energy. That is that how you had been. Okay. Mm. And they okay, yeah, I heard. And it is possible for you to be the jack of all trades and the master of all, or the master of one, or the master of two or three or four. That's up to you.
Love and peace and happiness.
All right, so back here we have the warrior, and it's all like as mentioned, all these cards are coming out in reverse. Before I read it, I'm hearing this person went through a lot of battles, but they didn't do it in the right energy. Like there's hmm, fighting for a cause, fighting for a purpose, and then there's just chaotic, a lot of battles, a lot of unnecessary battles, battling anything. And I heard battling the good that presents itself, battling the good that presents itself. Let's see what the shadow attribute says. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. Yeah, see, and in a higher attribute, the warrior would be somebody who is willing to do battle in order to protect, to defend, for a cause, for a higher good, for humanity. It says strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice, and conquering the ego. Somebody here let their ego get the best out of them. They wanted to prove that they were. I heard they wanted to prove that they were worthy. They wanted to prove that they were better. They wanted to prove that they could. They coming at things very much in a very egoic fashion is what I'm getting. Okay. The judge in reverse just said, it's my turn. Misjudgment, misjudgment, misjudging the situation, misjudging the situation with you. Okay. Misjudging the situation about why they went through things themselves as well. Okay. Misjudgment. Um, And I'm hearing a lot of self-judgment as well. It's funny because it's like once the battle calms down and this person is in a bit of solitude, then they're able to see, and is this person you? Is it someone else? Who is it? You can put it in the comments if you choose. But once there's some solitude, then it's like, oh my God, did I do the right thing? Was it? I literally just heard. Was it worth going through and killing the whole village, women and children included? It's like somebody here went through and created some destruction in that war. They were fighting an unjust war. They were fighting a cause for a no good reason, and in that there's this during the moments of quietude, of solitude, there's this self-reflection, and then they begin to judge themselves for what they do. They realize, in hindsight, they're able to realize where they could have done things differently. And it's like they're able to look back and realize where they did things simply out of an ego, uh, wish to appear grander, greater, more powerful than they actually were, caused them to do very small, but I hear life changing things in that affected so many. Okay, I hear that affected so many. Right? The shadow attribute says offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. Yeah, there's a big imbalance. Um, these scales are not to be imbalanced. They should be balanced. But there was a big imbalance in the person. I heard chemical imbalance. Some of them had mental imbalance, mental health issues just came through. The light attribute of the judge energy, balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. They want me to turn these cards upright. All of them. Okay. Interesting. So there was a lot of battling in the past. And thank you. They just showed me something with the battling in the past. Both of these cards are looking to the past. So that was part of the thing. This is part of the situation. There's somebody who's constantly looking to the past. They're failing to recognize their current positioning, the current blessing, the current location, placement, however that fits. That's the energy. Those are the words that I'm being given because they're looking to the past. Yeah, they're looking to the past. It's like battling things from the past, battling things from the past, demons, battling, trying to make, I hear take vengeance about what happened in the past. But the problem is you can't take vengeance in the now about what happened in the past and then think that you're going to actually accomplish some sort of balance, because that's not how it works. I'm hearing that's not how it works. The balance is not in the vengeance. The balance is in the elevation, in the conscious evolution okay, that occurs as a result of what was. Okay. Mm. Well, the beggar in reverse, and it's saying, I'm not asking for help. I heard there wasn't even a realization like they needed help. They needed somebody else to show them something. Their soul was, oh, I heard their soul was starved and begging for more. The soul was starved and begging for more, begging for some love, begging for some attention. I'm hearing. And a refusal to see, and then thinking, so there's a denial, there's a refusal to see, but at the same time as that denial and refusal to see, there's this idea like they know it all. They know it all. They were a know-it-all, but yet they knew nothing. And again, with the they didn't know what they don't know. They don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they don't know. Big time. Okay. The shadow attribute, dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. So this is somebody who don't want to do nothing for themselves. Just come in and fix it for me. Can I just take a pill for that? No, you can't just take a pill for that. No, I can't go fix it for you. You've got to do it for yourself. So they're giving me the energy here. This person actually had a lot of people try to step in and do it for them. People would try to come in and correct whatever was the situation. Uh, and then it never took root. It's like it never took root. It never took root. They went right back. Okay, so what they're showing me is with this person, an attempt to put them. So if If this is the vibrational square or vibrational location where you want them at, it's preferred, it's evolved, it's healthier, it's wealthier, it's happier, it's more loving, and all of that. And then this is where we don't want them, but this is where they live, and it's so far from that. And you try to move them over here, they're saying the frequency is vibrating back there. So you can move them over here all you want to, but they're going to naturally vibrate back to what matches their frequency. So that was part of the problem, or that is part of the problem. You're trying to take somebody out of the frequency that they're in, put them in this one. Great intentions. That's a beautiful intention, beautiful reason why. Yes, their life would be so much better if you could just plop them, take them from their misery, plop them into their happiness, and then that would work. But that's not how it works. That's not how energy works. That's not how frequency works. That's not how vibration works. And that's not how people work. You can't, nobody is able to take them and put them where they want them to be. They would have to actually shift their frequency. The only way to raise the frequency or vibration is a little bit at a time. They would have to begin to vibrate at a higher frequency to attain to this frequency of this improved place. Who can do that? They can do that. Not you, not me, not nobody else. Only the one having the experience is able to do that.
Love and peace and happiness.
The light attributes of the beggar confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. So there is this, like, that's what will take the hands off the eyes when they realize that they have the ability to affect change in their life. And lighting the flame for that is definitely part of what brings this connection together, what brought this connection together, what holds this connection together. Choose your right word, okay, for your experience. Depending on other people to care for you, this person, I'm seeing they're there's like a I don't like that word. Is there a better word? The word that they were giving me that I'm saying I don't like is retardation. I literally heard mental retardation due to a tragic situation, a traumatic experience early in life. I don't like the word retardation, but they're giving me the only other word they're throwing out now that I asked for one is restriction, and dysfunction. A dysfunction. It's showing that something happened early in life that was traumatic, and as a result, the way they're showing me is mechanically in the brain, something shut off with that trauma, and it was yet to be turned back on. And uh, and it has to do with their own empowerment, ability, root chakra energy coming through real strong. So safety, security, health, well-being, um, home, all of these things, ability to attract, attain, obtain, and have and maintain financial, residence, clothing, food, doctors, access to medical, all these things. Somewhere there's a trauma that triggered in this person. It goes one of two ways. I heard a lack of it or the only obtaining of it coming through um, dark means. So they're showing me like drug dealers and crime lords and manipulative, abusive energies is one of the ways that people attain these things when that energy is off in them, when that energy is skewed in them, when that energy has been traumatized and that brain point in the mechanics has been shut off. Okay. Okay. They said move into the next card. We have the Hermit again in reverse. Hermit. So there's this energy about clinging to other people. It's like never wanting to be alone, because remember, when they get in solitude, then there's this reflection like, dang, should I have destroyed the whole village like that? Men, women, and children? Like, that's crazy what I did. And then there's remorse. Okay. And then remember, that's symbolic as well. So then there's some remorse, and don't know if I should have did that. And I kind of feel bad about that. And oh boy, did I really do that type of energy? So then they would keep a circle of people around them, never wanting to be alone, never wanting to focus on what they've done, where they've been, and the effect of the energy that they caused, that they started, that they created, that they perpetuated. Okay, let's read the card. I heard shadow attributes: withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgment of others, refusing to help those in need. I just saw this person, when they do get into that solitude, oh, it's a deep dark hole they go into. And I'm seeing this body positioning that this hermit is holding being of extreme significance in the experience. So there's this um, deep dark hole, and it's like, look at that. This is the shape of a house, right? And it's like their energy, it fills the whole house. So even if they live with other people, their anger, their bitterness, their resentment, their self-loathing energy will permeate the entire home. Yeah. And then they're showing me two couples in a home with one fifth wheel. The fifth wheel was the anchor. The fifth wheel was an anchor of energy that contained all of the energies of both couples. So that's significant. You needed to know that. Why? You know why. This is your reading. Okay. Let's look at the light attributes of the hermit. It says, seek solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. And that's exactly what the spirit would is trying to call this person to, like, the house now symbolizing, get into your home, get into your own body, get into your own life, get into your own experience. Because remember, we're talking about an energy that like to connect to this person and that person and the other person, so that they don't have to ever really look at themselves. If they could obsess and be so involved in everybody else's happenings, what they got going on, what they're doing, how they're feeling, what trauma, what issue, what problem, what joy, whatever they got going on, then they don't have to look at their own. So there is that energy in this as well, of this person being guided to, like, look, stop worrying about everybody else for a minute, so you can see yourself. Okay, stop focusing on them, so you could do you, so you can get into you. There's some things in you that need to be accepted, appreciated, that you need to have more awareness, so you can create something different for yourself. So in this energy, I see that you, okay, thank you. That was interesting. They said, now we want you to take all those cards and apply it to the viewer. They said that, you did all the battling you could in a connection in the past. Things that you have abilities that will attract different people to you. Yeah, you have different abilities that attract different people to you. One of them is the ability to see the synchronicities. One of them is the ability to see the entanglements. One of them is the ability to see the reasons for the connections. As you have that, and you know that I hear you're well aware that these connections are fleeting. All of them are fleeting. Everything in the physical realm is fleeting, yet it's all purposeful. So rather than hide from it, you address each one. They're showing me, you when you see a situation where there's uh no affecting, or no effects taking place in the other of movement at this time, you don't force it. You allow it to be. But that doesn't mean that you keep yourself in stagnancy, is the word they're giving me. They're saying no. As a matter of fact, you've overcome so much because you have addressed each one of these blockages, and you confronted them. I heard dismantled them. You dismantled them. They're showing me dismantled as in like a bomb tech that would be sent in to dismantle a bomb that was set to go off. And that symbolism is very applicable here in your energy field from the past. Okay. Yeah. You I hear you've been the type of lover in life that definitely does what you can to bring balance in situations. You're very loyal. You're very wise. I hear you have this uncanny ability to utilize your spiritual gifts and abilities in order to uh, pre predict, foresee uh, the need of the one in front of you. They're showing me on the physical level, as well as emotional level, as well as spiritual needs. So they're saying, yeah, if they're thirsty, you know what they're gonna, you know what they want to drink. You know they're thirsty before they say anything. You know what meal they want to have for the meal time. They're saying on the mental and emotional level, you're aware of, I'm specifically being shown times and dates where certain emotions, memories, certain things are triggered. You can pick up on it. They're showing spiritually, you can pick up on things in their energy field and anticipate needs. Yeah, the anticipation of needs is something that you have that ability, and in your ability to anticipate needs, you provide the balance of that. You provide a provider. You are a provider. You've always been a provider. Yeah. Okay. And the other thing they're showing me is, but yet you never asked this person to uh, be responsible for the passion you have in you. And then I hear, and then the flame in the physical level, it dies. It will always exist. It's an eternal flame, yet the physical need is what went away. It's the physical need that went away. I heard you always pray for them. You always pray for them, but you'll make the choice of empowering yourself and living your authentic divinity. Yeah.
Love and peace and happiness.
All right, we have the garbage pail kids. I always do that. Every time I use this deck, I do that. We have the garbage pail kids, and we have the magician at the bottom of the deck. So you have all the powers and abilities. Yes, that's beautiful next to that dilettante energy that's up there in the sense of multiple abilities, talents, skills, everything needed to access, to accomplish, to overcome, to triumph. To, I'm getting the word Victor. So somebody's name is Victor. Somebody lives in Victorville. If that's you, definitely put something in the comments because this is your reading. But there's this energy where in this magician, being able to use your power and make something happen. Like this is all something they want you to accept, that no matter what the relationship looked like, you attracted it, you made it happen. Somebody's like, yeah, I know, I said yes. Okay, yeah, but aside from saying yes to the person, like you attracted the energy that that person held, and that's where there's more ability. In other words, this relationship is to evoke your empowerment in some sort of way that your own soul is called for. I mean, let me just look at this card because I got opening your mind. Open your mind. Get outside of your mind. Get outside of your mind and get into the energy. This situation caused you to get out of your mind, get into the energy, and I'm getting take notice of the repetitive cycles. This garbage pail kid has the Ouroboros snake eating its tail going right around its waist. The waist is solar plexus energy. Waistline right around belly button energy is the solar plexus, and they're saying, yeah, you kept doing things. So you stay in the situation, or you will stay in the situation, or you stayed in the situation in order to continue to cause more transformation in yourself. With the infinity symbol coming out of where the brain is no longer, knowing that there's infinite potential in this. There's so much symbolism in these freaking garbage pail kid cards. I'm telling you, one of my favorite decks that I own. But out of the over 200 that I have, symbolism. Now, this interesting because we have, and this person that's being depicted on the card. This character has clothing on, looking very much like a professor to me. Looks like a science professor. Okay, getting out of the mind. So you be very scientific, very cause and effect, very cause and effect, discovering the cause and effect, and then noticing how you've been providing the very definition of insanity in your life, doing the same thing, expecting something different. You had to switch something up. So we're going to get out of the mind what you think you know. What you figured out was, if I keep doing what I've always done, I'm going to keep getting what I've always gotten. So what do I think I should do? Is it the same thing I did before? Then I know that that's exactly what I don't want to do, because the brain, synaptic patterning is coming up with that brain that he pulled out on the side, expecting the synaptic patternings. In other words, the mechanics of the way human works is very repetitive, very mechanical. The synaptic patternings creating uh, deeper electronic, stronger electronic connections in the brain to create one course of action that follows another course of action that has been enacted many, many times before. And so it's like repeating the same process over and over again is normal for the day. Um, where we're trying to get out of that normal cycle, there's the energy here of, if it feels comfortable, then it's probably not the right freaking thing. If it's your first go-to thought, at this point, there's this realization like it's probably not the best idea, because I keep doing the first go-to thought and I keep ending up with shit in my hand. And that's what I just heard. I keep so is it you, somebody else that had this realization? I'm sensing that this is you that had this realization. Now, what the other person presented was the same manipulation tactic, same mind control tactic, same emotional control tactic. I heard the same narcissism over and over again. And then you would try to, well, I wonder if I do this, because remember, you could anticipate the need, right? So then you try to provide, because remember, you're the provider, right? But you kept getting the same thing in your hand, okay? And it was poo. And so in this energy, you saw the pattern, decided to switch something up. So let's see what we got. With the dead end and the war, we have a 10 of coins. That's absolutely gorgeous, because it says you closed out that cycle. The 10 of coins at one point came to me and said contract complete. This is where you have a soul contract with somebody and it is complete. And now we have a grandma. Ada and Adam Bomb is on this card, okay? But we have a grandma here sitting in the rocking chair. Interesting. Grandma sitting in the rocking chair. You could have thought you were going to be sitting with this person in your rocking chairs when you're old, watching the grandchildren play in the yard. But comes find out, no, you're actually not, because that cycle is complete. You did all 10 phases. You know it's complete. You know it's a whole child. They got 10 fingers and 10 toes. That's what they say, right? 10 is physical completion. So spirit years ago gave me the definition for 10 of Pentacles on a spiritual level as soul contract complete. Now, this also talks about family, generations. In most 10 of Pentacles, you see 3 generations on the card. We have the parents, we have the children, we have the grandparents, and there's even a dog in most. In this one, it shows 2 Ada and Nana Mom over there on the side, and it shows grandma in the rocking chair. So definitely seeing generational cycles happening here. The soul contracts are complete. Part of this energy was you completing the soul contract, being the warrior to confront the shadow energy about holding on to dead end experiences. Okay, so grandma is here in this energy by herself with the 2 children. So somebody here, you're the grandparent raising 2 grandchildren. I see that. Somebody here, you are the child that was raised with your sibling by your grandparent. And I am also getting single grandma energy. Single grandma energy. Okay. But the contract was complete. This was something that repeated in the family, repeated family experiences that were handed down generation to generation to generation. And then I heard the book stops here. I'm a karmic cycle breaker. I'm the one to break the chains. Okay. They said you'll never break the chains. Okay. Fleetwood Mac, break the chains. Yeah. No, you did. You broke the chains. We have here with the lover and the judge, we have the Page of Swords. I heard that's a good idea. We have Greaser Greg. Somebody's name is Greg. Okay, somebody's a rockabilly. Somebody's into that. The Page of Swords is somebody that asks a lot of questions. Okay, in this energy, Greaser Greg is showing up in this Page of Swords, and it's saying, all kinds of questions, all kinds of scatterbrain. The page is the youngest. So immature thought process. We did talk about somebody who was mentally restricted, held back. I don't want to, I already said what word I didn't want to use. So yeah. Um, because of a, mental immaturity, communication skills, zilch. I heard zilch. I heard nada. Okay. Communication skills lacking. Communication skills immature. I'm hearing saying shit that never crossed the brain. As I'm saying this, I hear a siren passing by on the busy street over down the way. I don't think that would pick up on the microphone. Okay, so I heard with the lover and the judge energy, there were red flags, there were warning signs that you could have picked up on the way this person spoke to you. Now, also, the other part of this is having learned so many lessons about the family cycles made you a wiser lover. One of the things I hear you always carried with you was a dedication and a loyalty. hmm I hear you still take wisdom from that experience of that karmic cycle that you completed. You still take wisdom from the karmic cycle that you completed. You draw on your power. You thinking about the family and how this has affected the family at this time. I heard because you can see the tangible effects on the family of these energies that you have completed. Now, somebody here again, you're at a different timeline in this experience. Therefore, you will see the effects physically and tangibly within the family as a result of the way you respond to this energy that you're currently going through with this difficult this challenge that's in front of you. But challenge only exists to show you how awesome you are. Part of this challenge, I'm getting as we leave in the word challenge, they're saying this Empress energy. Empress is honoring your self-worth, your self-value, reaping your harvest, getting your rewards through much pain and suffering. New life is brought forth. It's harvest season for you. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to ask for it. Realizing like I shouldn't have to beg for and ask for your love. I'm tired of begging you to love me. The goodbyes are getting old. Next time you can go ahead and go. I'm tired of begging you to love me. Yeah, I'm not begging for love no more. I got enough passion inside of me and love for myself, and I can take care of that. I'm not begging for you to love me no more. Honoring your self value, self worth. The hair is white in this one, and this is giving me more purity and the connection, conscious connection, pure, the hair being the ancestors that speak to spirit. Okay, no, the antennas that download spirit messages. Thank you. And but there was something in what I just said, the hair being the ancestors that speak to spirit. So there's something about you have, wow, that's crazy. So they just showed me something that's actually really beautiful. I've known this, but the way they just showed it to me, um and then they're giving it, there's so much. Slow it down. Tell the DJ keep it here, but slow it down. Slow the record down just a little bit so we could get it all out in a linear way. If you could only understand that you have as many ancestors supporting you as you do hairs on your head. Point one. Point two. In the Bible, there's a scripture that said God even knows and numbers all the hairs on your head. So there's this energy here about wisdom of the ancestors and them being so innumerable, like the hairs on your head.
Love and peace and happiness.
And then they're showing me, look at the last card. The Five of Swords is in reverse, significant. You don't have to fight. You don't have to fight no more. Having walked away from the struggles and the challenges, you don't have to fight no more. It's a time you prayed for where you don't have to fight no more. You can leave. I heard not my circus, not my monkeys.
Love and peace and happiness.
I heard I didn't break it. I don't have to fix it. When you realize you didn't break that, you don't have to fix that. That you need to figure out how to remember the wholeness of all that you are and honor that. Okay, that's the ancient wisdom that's coming through. You didn't break the cycle, you don't have to fix it. The fixing of the cycle, the closing of the soul contract, the termination of this energy, the dead end of this repetitive karmic cycle is just to stop playing the fucking game, baby. Wow. Mind blowing.
Love, peace, and happiness.
You didn't even have to play that game. When you realize you don't have to play the game, it's okay for you to say, no, thank you. I don't choose that. I'm going to choose anything else but that. It's literally that simple. They're saying it's literally that simple. So if you're still in the middle of the thick of all this, there's your solution. And somebody says it's not that easy. I hear you. You're arguing with me. You're saying it's not that easy. If only it was that easy. It's not going to be that easy as long as you decide it's not that easy. It literally is that easy. Yes, it could have some emotional repercussions and even some financial or physical repercussions at some point, but it is literally that easy, and it is that choice. And that's why so many of, I'm hearing, your ancestors did not do it, because it was going to feel different. It was going to feel uncomfortable and unpleasant. And again, they say, but none of your dreams live inside your comfort zone. So if you want to accomplish those, you're going to have to do something uncomfortable. If you want to break this chain, break this cycle, it's going to require you to do something you never did before, so you can get something you never had before. And that doesn't, it's going to translate, most of you will translate that experience and those are frequencies and vibrations of the awkwardness and the difference of the vibration into, it hurts, I can't, and that's what blocks so many from having made this accomplishment. But you have the ability to do it. You, I heard the future. I just heard the future, the current, and the past you colliding into time. So there's something here about having, okay, thank you. They just said it clearer. Thank you. I appreciate that. Having to collide the past, present, and future selves into one moment of agreement, to timeline shift. That's one of the things that happens, to timeline shift, to quantum leap, to take this leap of faith into the new reality that is you had been praying for, is going to require the collapsing of the selves from the past, present, and future. How do you do that? What the heck do you mean, Melinda? I get the questions. Let's give the answers. What we mean is there's got to be appreciation for where you're at, where you've been, and where you're going, with the acceptance of where you're at, where you've been, and where you're going. All of that coming together into one fully contained, all time, space, and dimension self awareness, consciousness. And you can timeline shift the heck out of this, they're saying. Okay, we have the target, a goal-oriented person. You came in with goals, baby. You had goals. There was things you wanted to do. In this target, the arrow is bullseye. So this is a bullseye energy. And it landed right over here, which is just off camera, but it's into my future position, which is telling me that you are still in this experience and you will hit the bullseye. Yeah, you will hit the bullseye. You're going to get a score. You're going to hit this thing right on target. You're right on target to hit the bullseye is what I'm hearing. Giving me right on target, meaning you're in the perfect time, space, dimension. You're in the perfect time of this timeline. You're in the perfect experience. And I know it don't, if you where they're showing me where you're at in this timeline, it is very uncomfortable there. So it could feel like, what the heck am I doing here? I don't need to be here. But they're saying where you're at is perfect, because where you're at is it's like the arrow is flying in the air. The arrow must fly in the air in order to hit the bullseye. You're the arrow flying through the air right now. Let me see over here with the lovers and the judge energy. We have the tower, a solid foundation, success with effort. Yeah. Um, Again, as we discussed, the dilettante, the magician, and the kairos energy, it's like you had the ability to see the signs, read the energies. You have the skills, talents, and abilities to make it through this. You are prepared for every bit of the challenge that's been presented in this romantic situation that helps you break karmic generational energies. And it's by having walked away from the dang thing, realizing like I don't owe them any suffering. That's delicious. Thank you. We love it. Say it one more time. One more time for emphasis. Yes, please. And I don't owe anyone suffering. So anywhere where you had chose to maintain connections because you owe them something and you put yourself in a suffering position and thinking that that was what was required of you. Would you like to uncreate and destroy right now? Yes, yes. On all time, space, and dimensions. And it's done. If you want that, you just put your yes, yes. You can rewind that, do that again if you want to. You don't have to. It's up to you. The bag is here. Over the flame and the bigger energy says something important such as a new job or raise. Perfect. I didn't read that, didn't even look at it until after we just proclaimed what we proclaimed. You uncreated and destroyed all places where you thought you owe somebody your suffering. See, I heard so many times a person gets himself caught up because they're trying to prove that they're a good person. Love them into submission. If I love them enough, if I'm good enough, if I do it right, then they will change for me. They said just drop that whole idea. If anybody in that type of mentality about a relationship, they already set themselves up for something else, and their energy is not even supporting the change that they want because they're actually, by thinking that they have to change that person, they're actually solidifying the way that person is. And so if you can't look at that person and you actually know that they are in this place where you enjoy and appreciate and love the way they're presenting, the best thing you can do is throw that fish back in the water and let it keep growing, baby, because it's not ripe and ready to eat. That's like you go fishing, you get a little tiny fish like this. What you gonna do with it? That ain't even gonna satisfy you. Ain't even one bite of meat on that thing. Just throw it back in the water and get you a real fish, baby. Something that can feed you, something sizable that can feed you. You know what I'm saying? Energetically, emotionally, according to love capacity. That's what somebody here you had to learn. Like you can't eat all the fish. Some of that fish is poisonous too. Some of that fish you don't want to eat. And then I'm hearing, and then in this case, what you've been picking out, the problem has been, whoo, baby, somebody here, you're gonna have to go get your boat back to shore, hook it up to your truck, pull it from the water. So whoever you are that has a real boat, I want to go for a ride. But yeah, significant for you. Hook it up, and you need to get out of that pond you've been fishing in, baby. You've been fishing in a contaminated pond. I'm seeing contamination signs around the edge of this lake, pond, whatever you've been fishing in. Is not potable water. Do not drink, do not consume. Whatever's in it, they're showing me that the contaminated, radiated fish off of The Simpsons, like, baby, you need to go to a whole nother place to go fishing. You shouldn't even be fishing in them water. There's some toxic ass waters you fishing in. Get out of there.
Love and peace and happiness.
And this is what you're doing. You're getting out of the toxic waters. You're not trying to fish or consume anything out of those toxic waters. That's the idea here. These past experiences have shown you where there's toxic waters. Now, there's a difference when they're showing me. So there's a difference when you are not in toxic waters and somebody's come out of the toxic waters and they're still in the purification process, removing the toxins from their energetic field, is a lot different than somebody that's still sitting in the damn toxic water. You got somebody hooked up to some IV vitamin, somebody that's detoxifying and all that is a lot different than somebody who's still just wading in the toxicity every day. And then they're showing me, yeah, like somebody who like to get on the phone and just gossip about problems and issues and who did what 10 years ago. And they have the same fucking conversation every damn day. And then they wonder why life don't change. Somebody who gonna get up and tell you every day about how horrible their life is because that one thing happened to them in 1990. In 1990, so if they still mad about 1990, baby, just get out of the toxic ass water. Go pull your boat out. Go find you a different lake. Yeah, you might even need to move to a different state. Somebody need to move to a different state. I'm just saying. All right, let's see what else we have coming out in this Gemini energy. Boy, your reading has gone deep and surface level. You kind of got it all, right? Interesting. Interesting. I love it. Look at the kite. Look at the kite. It's a fishy kite. We were just talking about fishing, baby. And then out of the 200 cards in this deck, a whole fish kite came out. Okay. This is vacation on the card. And it landed in the upright position with the prayer and the hermit, and it also was touching the target energy right off camera. So this is like you thank you there thank you. So a significant lady in my life, she said she wanted to be involved in this experience, and I said, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. And my piece is valuable for my purpose and what I do. So I can't get involved in that right there. That's going to stress me the heck out. I'm not doing all that. Then we had an experience that showed her. We had a real life human interaction with, there was three, actually four different individuals involved in that other than us. And that experience showed her that, you know what, she didn't want to do that either as much as she thought she did, because she got to hear about people who are doing that thing that she wanted to do. And so when we got back in the car and we was on our way to somewhere else, she said, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't want to do that anymore. And my response to her is what I'm getting ready to tell you right now. After I remind you that you owe no one suffering, I'm going to ask you, haven't you done enough to help people? Isn't it okay for you to just live a happy, peaceful life? Are you ready for that yet? Or do you still owe somebody some suffering? Long, dramatic pause.
Love and peace and happiness.
They said, think about that, baby. Are you ready for that happy life, or do you still owe somebody some suffering? Mm-mm-mm. Now, this one landed on camera right at the edge of the scene for you, over the prayer and the hermit again. And we have the eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles, baby. You can see that it's like you can see the goal in sight. You can see that you're overcoming this. You can see the progress you're making. You can see the success that's going to lead you to the vacation, that's going to lead you to that bullseye energy, baby, hitting the target on the bullseye. All right, let's see what's over here on the warrior. Happiness. Happiness. Can we just be happy? Can we just live a happy, peaceful life? Do we owe anybody any suffering anymore? You don't owe no one no suffering, baby. It's okay. I don't owe you no suffering. That's it. And you know how you get out of this cycle? Stop playing their fucking game. Mm. Right here in the middle with the judge, with the beggar, and the empress energy, looking, where's she looking? She's looking at the 10 of coins. We have a dark woman dealing with a relationship with a woman with dark complexion or hair. They said pull a card off the top, see more about her. Is the parrot. Someone will gossip about all your secrets. There's something in here. Somebody talking. Somebody with dark hair or dark complexion just talk this person and repeat like a parrot. Oh wow, they're showing me. Oh boy, that's something. So we were talking about mental capacity a while ago, mental restriction. This person not having they're having a very immature mentality. They're saying this person is like a parrot. They just parrot back whatever they've been taught. They don't know. It's like NPC, non-player character. It's like background people. It's like soulless. It's so that's one of the things you need to realize is in these energies. This is why it's best to just let them be how they're gonna be, baby. They're there to be the antagonist. Antagonist, is that right? Okay, they're there to be the asshole in your story. They're there to be the challenge in your life. They're there to be the shadow to your light. They're there to be the contrast in this experience. They're there to be a whole ass in most cases. Okay, and the thing of it is, it's like a parrot. The parrot is only going to say what it knows how to say. It's like the non-player character when you play these video games. That character that you walk up to, they're only going to say the same thing every time. They don't have the mental capacity to deliver anything other than that to you. Stop identifying. Ooh, that's ooh.
Love and peace and happiness.
Stop creating your self identity based off of their limited ability to grow mentally, to perceive mentally, to retain, to understand, to comprehend, to Evolve. Stop creating your self identity based off of that. It's what will keep you in that perpetual cycle of trying to prove your value, trying to prove your worth, trying to be a good person. I'm going to suffer more for you, and that's going to make you change. No, the heck it ain't. Is it? No, the heck it ain't. With the dark one, we have the dealings or relationship with a man. This is showing me your energy. It's saying you are the one who needed to take action. This experience was like, this person is going to stay focused on the past. Interestingly enough, not only is this masculine energy, because of the way the card is turned, they're not looking at the past. They're looking forward and upward. Their focus is forward and upward. Where this dark woman focus is downward into the past. And their parrot energy is ridiculous, because they're just showing me like limited capacity. It's like right now we got smartphones, right? Our smartphones do awesome stuff. If you remember back in the day, mind you, I was born in 1978. If you remember back in the day, then big old computers with floppy disks and stuff, and the pixelated graphics and all that. That's this person's mentality. Your freaking smartphone. You can do all those games that are way more advanced, way better graphics, way more capacity in this little tiny device that you can hold in your hand. They don't have that capacity. They're like a giant old IBM computer from 1990. Because remember, they're stuck in 1990. Their consciousness is still stuck in 1990. They're still replaying what happened in 1990 every freaking day. So their computer brain is stuck there. Non-player characters, background people, they're there to tell you the same thing over and over and over again. Now they're showing me what happens when the player, the main character of the video game, bumps into those ones who are only going to say the same thing. Those non-player characters say the same thing every time. They're going to give you this information or that information, or they might give you this gift or that gift. They got one function, and that's all they're ever going to do. And then once you've taken that gift, they don't give you something else. They're saying in the video game, when you walk up to play the non-player character parrot, the parrot's only going to tell you one bit of useful information. That's all they're ever going to give you. You'd be a fool to keep walking back up to that same one looking for something different, because it doesn't have anything different to give you. This is so much like these relationships. What card came out over here with the eagle and the hermit? We have the cup. You should accept valid criticism. And that's with triumph over troubles and obstacles. This valid criticism is coming through and saying, I don't owe suffering to anyone. How many times are you going to choose to suffer for this situation, for this person? You don't owe any of that to anybody. Okay, if they said something that was significant, take that as the one thing that the non-player character is going to say. Move on, get to the next phase. Yeah, teardrops. And as I say that, get to the next phase and move on right on the flame. We have teardrops, great personal sorrow. I did mention that this could be, something to evoke some emotion. It could be emotional. It could be hard, quote unquote, hard, because it's emotional to let it go. Oh my gosh. But if you could begin to look at life as this matrix is nothing but a game, honey. And some of these people got souls and are real players. Like when the kids get online and they're playing the video game, and there's actually somebody else with a headphone and microphone and free will moving a character, versus non-player characters, the ones that are just part of the matrix. There is part of the matrix to present only that certain limited information, limited perspective, and that's all they're ever going to do. What sense does it make to cry over it? Well, your feelings are valid. But remember that those tears that you're carrying are about you, not that person, because that's not a person, it's a non-player character. They're background people. Dolores Cannon speaks about background people. Go investigate that. Some of you really need to go on a deep dive to understand that we have real sentient beings here, and then we got non-player characters. Okay, as well. All right. Additional information. Love. Okay. They said put this down. So we have the sunrise coming out for you. The sun shall rise again. The sun will come out tomorrow. Okay. New creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. There is a fresh start. When you realize that some of these people literally are like parrots, they can only do the same shit every day, and they're not going to change. When you see that, huge red flags, okay? And then we have family wishes come true. I told you what you're doing not only affects you, but it affects the family. This is about family energy, okay? So some of you, these ways of paying suffering for all the people in your life are connected to what you learned from your family. You have family members that did the same damn thing, okay? But new, fresh start for your family. Your family wishes comes true. I dropped this card right on top of the bag. Perfect. Because they were showing me like there's a card that you perfectly dropped it on top of, and I'm looking at it's the bag. Something important such as a new job or a raise. The money bag. Yo, babe. Uh-huh. Let's see what's at the bottom of these. What's at the bottom of these? The staff. You will be taken care of during difficult times. They said, so just submit to where you're at. Surrender to the situation. It is what it is. It's a non-player character. You can't give a soulless being a soul. You can't make them choose life. You can't make them choose the light. You can't make them nothing. They have to be that on their own. You can't. Perfect. You're giving me video game analogies again. They're showing me you can't go and play Red Dead Redemption and then walk up to that one cowboy that just sits there. Whoever played Red Dead Redemption, listen. You can't play Red Dead Redemption. Walk up to the one cowboy that tells you, yeah, I think you went west. And then wait for that person. Well, if I walk up to that so many times, if I do it right this time, then maybe this person will be my companion in the video game and, they can play with me. No, they'll never be able to play with you. They are programmed to say, I think you went west. So every time you walk up to them saying, oh, I love you. Can you be my friend? Can we play together? Will you journey with me in life? Their capacity is to say, I think you went west. That's all you ever going to get out of them is, I think you went west. They said that. That's crazy. So why I think you went west, that's what came through, totally channeled. So necessary. So necessary. Whoever you are, put it in the comments. Let me know what that's about. I got another deck that I wanted to use in your reading. We're going to pull for you a little bit more. I'm going to do it with the tarot that we have down here just to add to it a little bit more depth into our reading. What do we have in the Gemini experience? Well, we have a parrot. We have a non-player character.
Love and peace and happiness.
We have an opportunity here to hit a goal, to hit a target, to be on the bullseye, baby. Yes, we do. This is all about your happiness. I love that happiness came out over there. Yeah, happiness. This was all about you and anything that's between you and your happiness. Anything that coming between you and your happiness came up to be addressed in this connection. And it has a lot to do with the acceptance of the idea that you can suffer in order to please somebody else, make them change, help them get it, make them evolve, make them wake up, get them out of their spiritual slumber. No, it's not about that. It's not about that. Okay. If that's going to happen, they actually said, if that's going to happen, it won't happen with your presence. Why? Because in your consciousness is so fixed. Ooh, this is profound. In your consciousness, their state of being is so fixed that they literally cannot evolve because of your focused attention onto their current experience, their current energy, the way that they are presenting it. This is why so often when you do walk away from people that just are performing inadequately in your life, the changes happen when you're gone, because now you're not focused on how they are no more, which energetically leaves room for them to change. And your absence in their experience is more valuable than your presence, because while you were right there doing this, that, and the other, they couldn't see it no way. The only way they could see it was when they lost it. So often, think back to the worldwide quarantine. Oh, people became grateful for the freedom to breathe without a mask on their face, for the freedom to go to the sports club or the park or the roller skating rink, or just walk into a grocery store instead of waiting in line for hours to hug a person, to see another person smile. People became very grateful for smiles. Why? Because they didn't have it anymore. They lost the ability. So if the NPC is going to turn into a real player character, it's not going to happen while you're focused on them, because your intense focus on them, your conscious awareness of them is, no matter what I do, they keep saying the same thing. I think he went west. That's all they ever say to me. I keep telling, I love you. You're valuable. And then the only thing they say to me is, I think he went west. Listen, I hope that makes sense to you. This is why people will evolve and change when you remove your physical presence from their life more often than they will when you're right there with them. And if your love is real, it will still have an effect in their life once you're gone. If you love that non-player character so much, it moving on with your life and feeling the success of that is the only thing you can contribute to that non-player character that could possibly get them out of their own stagnancy. Hello, with the 10 of coins, we have healthy boundaries, and it's in reverse. I'm telling you, from your family, you learned a lack of boundaries from the past, and this is why the cycle came up. Yeah, because there had to be an instituting of healthy boundaries. It was the healthy boundaries that broke the cycle. Realizing that I don't owe you any suffering. I owe you no suffering at all. It's okay for me to be happy. I can't fix your life, your mind, your heart. You have to do that. I'm not giving you any more uh, trauma, but I can't fix your trauma. hmm the Page of Swords. It was a rite of passage. This was something, this is or was something that you needed to go through for your own self actualization, is the phrase they gave me, because the next card is the Empress. This is what puts you in your Empress energy. Having this experience, no matter where you're at on the timeline on this, put you in your Empress energy. Yeah, and it says shine. Look at that. Ruby comes out with the word shine with the Empress energy. Yeah, this is so you can shine your light unapologetically and regardless of how the heck they accept it or receive it or perceive it. Their opinions of you is none of your freaking business. What is your business is what's your opinion are you? Are you being loyal to yourself? Are you being respectful to yourself? Are you honoring your own value? Because if you're not doing any of that, how in the heck do you think anybody else is going to do it? When you put yourself down to be with them, all you do is teach them that it's okay to put me down. In this, you chose elevation, or you're choosing elevation wherever you're at in the timeline, yeah? Let's see what this Five of Swords in reverse, what else can you offer with the Five of Swords in reverse, please, in this Gemini energy? What a beautiful reading. What a powerful reading. So much detail, so much experience, so much wisdom coming out for you. Yeah, the Five of Swords said, you don't have to fight. You don't have to fight no more. No, absolutely. And as confirmation, the opal comes out saying you can choose joy. You can be in joy. You decide, you know what? I don't owe any suffering here. I don't want to live my life fighting. I'm just going to go be happy. Damn. And the foundation of it all was peace, was scholasite. Peace. Yes. You have the ability to have a peaceful, happy life should you choose it. So at this time, I'm going to close out your reading by offering you a free yes or no answer to your yes or no question. This one time I pull these cards, it functions for all of you who ever watched this reading, because your soul team guides you on the formulation of your question, because they already know what the answer was before I even pulled it.
Love, peace, and happiness.
So think of your question. If you'd like, you can put it in the comments or keep it to yourself, okay? And you can do all the YouTube things that lets YouTube know that you appreciate this content and would like to see more of it, okay? Thank you for all of that. And again, for the growth on our channel, I'm going to pull this once. If you see an ace, that means yes. We can see that ace at the bottom of the deck or within the 13 cards from the time the first falls. If there is no ace, then that means no. And I just want you to know, on this side of the table, I don't assume that yes or no means good or bad. It is or it isn't a yes, okay? Because again, you've all formulated your questions along with sources of assistance, with your highest self's assistance, to help you receive the answer that you need. Okay. And if you want to get a personal reading, I do have time available for those. Divine timing always works out perfectly in my life. Information is on the website and below the video in the description box. Is the answer in this yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's saying no. No is your answer. This is what I have for you. So thankful and grateful for your beautiful presence. Until next time, I absolutely love and adore the part of me that aligns with you. The golden thread that shines all the way through, called love and peace and happiness. And in the meantime, in between time, you could treat yourself at LPHtarot.com. As in, love and peace and happiness. 감사합니다. Gracias. Later, baby. That's all, folks. And I'm out.